G'day mate and welcome to Capital Industry with me, JD. Today I want to talk about the ore sorter. We're going to be covering how the ore sorter works, what to watch out for, and also how to set them up with advanced logistics. But before I get to any of that, before I fill your head with all sorts of information, I want to ask just a simple favor, and that being, well, can I borrow a like? I ask early in the video because after it fills your head with information on how the ore sorter works and best practice, everything else, you might forget to click the like button. So instead, can you click it now? Sure, you can have it back if you didn't like the video, you didn't find it helpful, but I'm really hoping that after it filled your head with information, you might forget. So right here, we have the ore sorter found in its natural environment, often nestled close to a mined control tower, currently in its hibernation mode, awaiting the start of a new mining season. So let's talk about exactly how this thing works. First off, we're gonna need to set a couple of details. First off, we're gonna need to set which products we want sorted, and it's very important to know that you can only sort up to 8 items. Now, 8 items might sound like an awful lot, but that is until you start mining through some areas that you've probably filled some junk into and you want to clean it out, and you find out 8 items is not really enough. On top of that, you need to make sure that any 2 items that might exist in a truck at the same time, example being things like dirt and rock, can definitely be run through the ore sorter. Now, not early game, you're going to probably have just a single ore sorter due to limitation of construction parts, and you're going to probably have your rock and dirt, also your iron ore, your coal, your copper, your limestone, all running through one ore sorter, which should be fine, probably, possibly, providing, the system doesn't back up. And this is going to be our very, very first issue that we may run into. With having a single ore sorter, it means that once this fills up with iron ore, which it looks like it's going to do fairly quickly, then it can't sort anything else. Come on, trucks, I need you to find some more iron ore. I need you to work quicker for the demonstration. 310. Oh, I should also mention, those of you who are curious, the actual sorting rate, it does 360 ore per minute, which does mean also late game with some very large mining outposts, you might need more than 1 or 2 ore sorters. Please don't take away my iron ore. We're trying to force an issue here. We're trying to make it back up. That should be it there. Cool. All right, pause. That way nobody can steal anything. All right, as you can see around the back is full of everything. Now, as you can see, it looks pretty nicely sorted right here, but that's just a visual thing to sort of indicate that you have multiple different things in the back. But as you can see, I'm also maxed out in iron ore. Because I'm maxed out in iron ore, nothing else can be processed. Now, at the moment, I'm lucky that I happen to have some copper ore in here and some coal, so things are probably going to be okay. But if I end up with a factory desperately needing limestone to make bricks, to then make construction parts, and that's our real bottleneck for right now, the limestone that I have in here can't be sorted through the system until the iron ore is moved. So we need to fix this, or at least mitigate this a little bit. So there's a couple of things we can do. And the other thing we're going to have an issue with is, no matter what, with how this is set up currently, I can have trucks from all over the island visit this one's ore sorter. I'd like to also show you how we can alleviate that. So the first thing we can do is we can click reject single product loads, which means that if one of these guys, no, you've got a mix. Cool. Can I have one of you just get nothing but iron ore? No, you're a failure. You're a failure too. How about you? Iron ore. More iron ore. No, you found some rock. It's like I can't get a truck to demonstrate what I need when I need it. Iron ore. More iron ore. No, you found rock as well. Yep, the chance of you getting a truck right when I need one that has nothing but iron ore is going to be slim to none. You can't be sorted. You come on. Demonstration purposes. 16. Hey! Okay, if I have a truck that has just iron ore in it, or in the case of this, because I've turned off reject single product loads, so a truck that has just iron ore, just dirt, just rock, just coal, just copper, or just limestone, it can then drive that to wherever you might need iron. So in the case of this particular island, obviously it's a bucket that is requesting an iron to run the smelters. It could just be a smelter, it could be anything. but that's really what you're aiming for. You're aiming to just mitigate the amount of resources going through the ore sorter. It also means that I'm not dumping in, well, in the case of the little trucks, 20 iron ore. In the case of the big trucks, potentially 60, that ends up having to sit in the sorter to then be pulled out. Also means I'm saving some power when the ore sorter's not running because, well, currently it's jammed, therefore it's not running. But that's not going to solve the second problem. The second problem being, well, you have trucks driving from all over the island. Well, a couple of problems. First one being you have trucks driving from all over the island. Second one is we're jammed currently. So to fix the jamming problem, obviously the easiest answer is have one dedicated sorter for every single different resource. So if I make you just do copper, can I copy you? And we'll put one over here for coal. You are going to do just coal, sir. And you are going to do just limestone. We'll swap out the coal for limestone and build you. That should mitigate the second problem, that things jam, okay? Now, the good news is if things do jam, like currently the iron sorter is jammed on coal, if I delete the coal, shipyard, my coal just gets shoved over here, conveniently shoved into the shipyard, the Great Waste Disposal area, and then hopefully a truck goes and gets it from there. It is a wonderful magic feature of, well, hit the delete button. So I can then set up each one of these to do, well, just that one resource. So I can remove the copper, I can remove the limestone. We now have one dedicated guy to do iron ore plus rock plus dirt, because obviously that's what we're going to find in this mine. As I dig out this corner and I get to a situation where I'm finding sand, then I'm probably going to have to add sand to the same ore sorter, because there's a potential that these trucks might end up with iron ore, dirt, rock, and sand. But this brings me to a new problem, a brand new problem being, let's say this guy is full of copper ore. We don't need any more copper ore. All the copper ore has been processed. The buffers are full, and you have just iron ore. Cool. I was hoping I might have a nice demonstration. No, and no. Okay. I end up with a situation where the iron's full, the copper's full, whatever it happens to be, and then we get a truck from the copper mine, or in the case of the limestone mine all the way over there, that has nothing in it but rock and dirt. Now, if limestone's backed up and he has nowhere to dump that limestone, well, he can then take the rock and the dirt. No. I thought I was going to get lucky. Okay. He can take the rock and the dirt to anywhere else, any other sorter that has the capability of sorting rock and dirt. Actually, copper's backed up. Can I get you guys to come dig that for demonstration purposes only? You have copper. You have not copper. You have copper and other stuff. This truck is my hope. This truck is my hope that you can end up with dirt and rock at the same time. And that can stay backed up. Dirt. I need to get some rock too. That's more dirt. That's copper. You ruined it. You found copper. Please stop that. Can you go find rock? Can you find dirt? And can you find rock? This is also a very, very big suggestion for you. If you're running with the ore sorters, make sure you tell the miners what you want them to dig. Make sure you tell them to dig the ore that you're looking for. Okay, so dirt. I just need you to find a bit of rock. I'm not going to be that lucky, am I? No. You got copper. Okay, if you get a truck that happens to have both rock and dirt in it, and its local sorter happens to be full, it happens to be jammed, but rock and dirt are a viable sorting method in this sorter, or a viable sorting method in this sorter. Or if you're playing on a map like Curland and it's a viable sorting option on the other side of the map, they will happily drive to the other side of the map to use that sorter. Actually, you are completely jammed with coal. These ones we might get. Oh, come on. Perfect. Don't find any coal. Please don't find coal. And one more scoop. Oh, come on. Okay. So, this is their sorter with coal. This truck just got enabled to come to here, which is the one that's meant to do sand. Except sand's not jammed. Sand's not full. So this truck could drive to here, which happens to be close, but by the same token, if everything is working perfectly and everything's backed up, which is sort of how you want the factory to work, then that could be the other side of the map, which means you're one truck down for quite some time, also means he's chewing up the diesel. And we don't like giving the trucks free diesel. We're not that generous. So what you can do is you can move into advanced logistics. So we need to stop and talk about advanced logistics for just 1 second. And I will mention very quickly that I'm going to link up the top right-hand corner. I'll also probably put it down in the pinned comments below. Also down in the description, I'm going to link to a video. It's a little bit of an older video, but still everything is still relevant in it on exactly how advanced logistics works. And it's something that I highly recommend if you want to know more information about advanced logistics. A video you go check out, because advanced logistics can save you a whole lot of frustrations when it comes to the trucks. It can also save you a whole lot of diesel by making sure that all the trucks stay inside their own smaller designated area rather than driving all over the map, which is what we're going to be fixing right now. Okay, so we're going to go with the copper example, actually, because it's backed up, which is perfect. All right, so what I want to do is in prior to update 1. Okay. All right, we're going to do 2 things. First off, I'm going to mention very quickly that the output ports here are all variable. So currently the dirt is going to go on output slot number A, being this one. Rock is going to go on B, and copper is going to go on D. For right at the moment, I'm going to move everybody to C port, which won't update live. If I change them all over and then deselect and reselect, it's then going to highlight to indicate, well, everything now comes out C port, which is perfectly valid. You could have all 3 resources come out the very same port. It's going to lead to a bit of a mix-up in the future, but that's a future problem. All right, what I want to do is I want to set up advanced logistics. And this is something that we used to do in update number 1. It's still something you're going to do in update number 2 if you're not running with the ore sorter. And what we'd do is we'd have 3 boxes, okay? The rear boxes automatically set up with trucks import on and export off. The front boxes, because they're directly connected to one another, automatically set up with truck import off and export on. And then what we do is we use this as a bridge between 2 networks, because currently the trucks assigned inside the mining towers, well, they're obviously not allowed to drive off and go pick up construction parts and move around construction parts because they've been assigned to this job. But what I want to do is I want to give them more options for their jobs. Now, it's not going to work terribly well unless we have reject single product loads on. And my idea is I want to take any large amounts of dirt, also large amounts of copper, large amounts of rock, anything that is a single load in a truck, and I want to have it bypass the sorter. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this one to do dirt, which, well, actually, probably rock. Normally I go with rock, and then we go with dirt, and then your last one will be your ore of choice, okay? In this case, it's going to be copper. Then what we need to do is we need to get these boxes built. Then what we do is we would have you guys export into this ore sorting tower. So that means you guys are now locked to that ore sorting tower. If you pick up a mixed load of, stuff like dirt and rock, then you can't drive off to a different ore sorting tower to go dump it there. And then we link you to all 3 buckets. Now, because you're linked to all 3 buckets, really, guys, that's so annoying. Bad trucks. I happen to have a lot of copper probably in the shipyard. All right, so once you're linked to all 4 different routes, 1 being the ore sorter and 3 being these buckets, if we found a dedicated load of any of these items, it could, well, go straight through to one of those buckets. Now, you are backed up. We can try iron. Okay. Can I put you there? All right. And I need to remove those because they're a copy paste. And I need to change you to be iron. And I need to change you to be iron. Okay. We'll try this one instead. Export to there, and there. Cool. Can I build those? Or actually, Can I say... Guys, can you go back to digging copper now? Copper. Copper. And copper. Cool. All right. We're perfect. Okay. So this guy has nothing in him but iron ore. Because he has nothing in him but iron ore, he's going to import into this box. Okay. Because he's been told that if he has a single product load, i.e. nothing but iron ore or rock or dirt, he can't take that. He can't take that to the ore sorter, but what he can do is he can dump it into these boxes because obviously his load is a single item. It's already pre-sorted. And, well, this is a box for just iron. So that's going to flow straight through to the front box. And these guys are limited to just these 4 locations. But this box here, any truck on the map can access. Now, that's good and all, but it still means I have trucks wandering over here. Whoop, oh, there we go. We have trucks coming over here to pick up iron ore right now. I also have trucks coming over here to pick up iron ore straight from, well, the ore sorting plant. But obviously, it'll be a step higher, well, 1 step up, if I could get the 2 systems merged together. And that's what I want to do, and I want to do that with a bunch of priorities. And we're going to move things around. We're going to put you on A and you on B. Okay. So what I can do is I can add a simple belt there, a simple belt there, and a simple belt there. And once I've added all 3 belts, what we've actually done is we've said, okay, resources that are mixed are going to come into the ore sorter first, at which point they're going to pass through the ore sorter into the direct output box. And then from the direct output box inside the mining network, because everything in here is still limited to, well, just the vehicles that are in this mining tower. There is the exception that vehicles can come and get stuff directly from the ore sorting tower, from the external network, i.e. being this group of vehicles here. This is your general logistics network. These are the ones that you can assign to do all sorts of jobs. They're also the ones that are driving around currently doing all the deliveries of things like construction parts and diesel and all those sorts of things. But because we've linked the 2 together, well, it means that it's going to flow through this box and into this box, which means hopefully trucks have a slightly shorter distance to drive. Also means that unless this fills up completely with iron ore and then backs up through the iron ore, or through the ore sorting plant, through this bucket and this bucket, that's the only time that it has the possibility of stopping, which also means that these guys can keep digging and they could potentially fill up with a solid bucket, like this one's probably going to be, of nothing but iron ore. Now, if it has nothing but iron ore and it has nowhere to dump, i.e. this is full and this is full, and I have no way of forcing that to be full. Oh, I do. Please be patient. And like magic, it's full. So now it's full. If I have a vehicle, which now I need a vehicle. I need a vehicle that gets nothing but iron ore in it. I got hope for you, little guy. Please, you little guy, have nothing but iron ore in it. Whilst it's not full anymore. Oh, it is full. Perfect. Okay, pause. Let me talk. Okay, so because he has nothing but iron ore in it, he's going to go to the mine control tower. And he's going to park at the mine control tower because he actually doesn't have anywhere to dump. Because this guy has taken his spot. So because he has nowhere to dump, he's going to sit here with another 20 iron ore, or 80 iron ore, or 160 iron ore. If you get a big trucky boy, he's going to have that iron ore ready to go, ready to put in the ore sorter straight away. Which does mean, and this is something I recommend something I set up on all of my towers as I upgrade to tier 2 trucks and tier 2 excavators, and I have a digging team that's at least 4 or 5 large, so the big mines being like the coal, the copper, and the iron. I set one of these guys to always be looking for the dirt, and one of these guys to always be looking for the rock. Because that way, all these little bits of dirt, hopefully they dig that out for me. And that means there's a puff of smoke here. Yep. Okay. It means hopefully the 1 or 2 or 3 guys that are dedicated just doing the iron ore can end up with a situation that when the systems back up, I can end up with 2 or 3 or 4 trucks just parked here full of iron ore as an extended buffer. So it means that when I suddenly need a giant influx of iron ore, because I just went and built a giant assembly. I went and spent 1,000 construction parts. I end up with a situation where I have 360 iron ore here, plus 360 iron ore here, plus probably another 360 in the sorter itself, along with 1, 2, 3, or 4 trucks that are full of, well, hopefully they're tier 2 trucks with 80 iron ore each, which means I end up in a situation where I have another 500 iron ore, 400 iron ore sitting right here, ready to go, which, because they're single product loads, they go straight into the bucket and they don't have to be pre-sorted. I'm also going to have some iron ore in here that's going to have to flow through and be sorted, but I have no guarantee what that ratio is. It's probably going to be a fairly high ratio of the item I want compared to the items I don't want, but I've got no way of knowing for sure. But it does mean that, yes, as long as some iron ore is being used, the dirt and the rock can be filtered through. And it also means that in the case of advanced logistics in this localized little area, I make sure that my vehicles never, ever, ever leave this tiny area, and they don't go driving halfway across the map to dump off dirt and rock. Unlike, well, these guys, which have been dumping their dirt and rock over into the sand mine, because it just happened to be close and theirs happens to be backed up. But yes, this is going to conclude our tiny little video on, well, the ore sorter, the advanced logistics, all the different tricks and traits with them. Actually, no, there's one other thing I need to throw in, and that is going to be a warning and also a blueprint. If you're digging up areas that you've used for landfill previously. Over here I have special circumstances. Yes, this is one I'm gonna have a blueprint. I'll put it up on the Capital Industry hub. I'll put a link to the hub down in the description below. But this one is a special circumstance for any of those times you've gone and filled general junk into the sea, and you've decided you're not particularly happy with the junk that yesteryear threw in there, and you sort of want to clean it up. In that situation, you might be digging just about anything out of the sea, and you're going to need a specialized ore sorter because you're going to be finding all sorts of things. So this is my blueprint that I've set up for probably what you need, but not guarantees, which is going to have dirt and rock, because obviously going to be dumping both of those in the sea. Technically as compost, the chance of you finding compost is about 0 because it normally instantly turns into dirt, but it might happen. So we have compost in here as well. We also have trash, because let's be honest, we all put trash in the sea, along with slag and gravel. Also, if you were one of those naughty people that dropped depleted uranium in the sea and crushed slag, well, that's also on the list as well. So this is going to sort 8 different items that you'll commonly drop in the sea. And then, as you can see, we're sorting 2 out per lane. So let's go with rock and dirt to start with. We have dirt being siphoned off and being put into these 2 boxes. These boxes are set to empty, so obviously they're going to get dumped to the new location that we're going to have to clean up later. It's just part of the game. You know, we're cleaning up the environment as we go. We have both compost and depleted uranium on this lane. We have depleted uranium being pulled off here, which then means these ones end up being compost. Over here we have that slag and gravel. So we have gravel being pulled off and put into these 2 boxes and slag being put into these 2 boxes. Again, every single box is set to, well, the outside box to be emptying. And on our last port, we're going to have crushed slag, and we're also going to have trash. And we have, well, waste coming out into the first box, and then we have slag crush coming in the second box. Now, again, like I said, this is designed for when you're doing cleanup, when you're fixing your old mistakes, when you're cleaning out areas that you've probably dumped all sorts of stuff in, probably to put a nice top coat of dirt on top of, so you can turn it back into farmlands and pretend like the past mistakes of yesteryear never existed. Do remember that if you want to farm, it's going to be 1 tile thick, and I think trees have to be 2 tiles thick. Maybe it's farms have to be 2 tiles thick and trees have to be 1 tile thick. I can't remember. A general rule of thumb, you need at least 1 tile of dirt for a farm, but I generally recommend you go with 2, just because you do not want to fill the whole thing in with dirt to then find out that there's a couple little patches that were not quite thick enough in the dirt department. You need to dig it all back up again. It's just not worth the hassle. So yes, this is, well, a single ore sorter that's designed to clean up after yourselves. If you went and dumped ore back in the sea, you're a horrible person, and you might need to swap one of these out with, well, that particular ore, and then change over the filters. The good news is, like I said, compost, very little chance of finding that. Depleted uranium, most people don't dump that in the sea. Most people also don't dump gravel or slag crush in the sea, because there's no point taking rock, convert it into gravel, to then dump it. Same with slag into slag crushed and then dumping it. But it happens. It happens. I understand. And the idea is this is a catch-them-all blueprint. Anyway, with all that said and done, this is where I'm going to be leaving this particular video. If you're interested in seeing more Captain Mystery, there is a link down in the description to a wonderful playlist with a whole bunch of Captain Mystery tutorial videos. Also, I should mention that I currently have 2 Let's Plays running. One on the wonderful island, You Shall Not Pass, and the second one on the brand new island offered by the devs, well, Armageddon. So, I invite you to come swing by either of those 2 particular series and check them out. But with all that said and done, I'm going to leave this video here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you found the video helpful. And with all that said and done, I will see you in, well, the very next video. All right, bye.